Hey up everybody, Betty's back. Right, so I've had a bit of a technical disaster. I did a full video of a Korean chicken stew. My computer was saying there was no space to export, and I've managed to delete the full video somehow, trying to free up space. So what I've decided to do, because I'm short on time, is a no-bake raspberry cheesecake. So there's no cooking involved at all. I ain't had a cheesecake. I've never done a cheesecake on here. I ain't had a cheesecake for ages. So it's the quickest and easiest solution for me to get a video out there. So, right, I'll show you the ingredients and we'll get cracking. Okay, so for this you will need 100 grams of caster sugar, 100 grams of unsalted butter, 300 grams of digestives, or if you want to jazz it up, you can use whatever biscuit base you like. That's just what I happen to have. You will need a teaspoon of vanilla extract. It says 300 grams of raspberries. This is a 250 gram pack. That will do nicely. You need 300 mils of double cream, some icing sugar for dusting, and 500 grams of cream cheese. Now these are 200 gram packs, so it's 2.5 packs of that. And that basically it. There's no baking, there's no cooking. Like I said, I need it to be nice and quick and easy, just to get a video out there. So we'll get cracking. Okay, so the first thing I've done is put my butter into a saucepan. I'm just going to let that gently melt to put into the biscuit base, which is what I'm going to do next. Right, so the next step is our 300 grams of biscuits into the food processor. They go. If you haven't got a food processor, then simply put it in a bag and bash the hell out of it until it gets to a fine crumb. Right, 1 second. Where's my lid? There it is. So we're just going to blitz that up until it resembles a nice fine crumb. It's going to be a bit noisy, but that's not looking too bad. I'm just looking, there's still a few bits in there, bigger bits. That will do nicely. That is that now done. So I'm just waiting on my butter to melt completely, but while we're waiting for that, we're going to, oops, I'll just move that out of the way slightly. So we're going to tip the biscuit base into this bowl. Like I said, we're just waiting for the butter. So I'll come back in a second. Right, so the butter is now melted. So it's just a simple matter of combining the two. Make sure you get it all in. That's that. And we're just basically going to mix this up until it's like a sandy consistency. Which it is now happening. But make sure it's all well combined. Oh, there's a rogue bit of biscuit there, but hey. That's getting there now. I think that's just about all done, to be fair. I can't see any lighter bits in there now. It looks all pretty dark. Yep, I would say that is done. So, what we're going to do now is get our, this is a 20cm springform tin. And basically we're just going to put this into the bottom of here and press it down. Just make it sure it's into a nice even layer the whole way across. Make sure it's against the edges, obviously. Oh, there's a bit of a thinness there. So I'll come back in a second when I've sorted that out and I've flattened it out. Right, so I'm just making sure it's very firmly pushed down with the back of the spoon all over. And that is now going to go into the fridge until we need it, which, you know. So the next thing to do, we'll get on with the mix, with the filling. Yummy. Okay, so we have our 500 grams of cream cheese in here, which was 2.5 packs, into the mixing bowl, along with our 300 mils of double cream. It's going into there. This is very calorific, but hey, it's not often we have something like that. And then the 100 grams of caster sugar going into there. So I'll just get rid of that. 1 second. Let's get rid of that. So, my trusty old Whizzy Wazzer. Let's get it mixed. Slow to start with, Ian, slow to start with. Otherwise you end up with it absolutely everywhere. So we're going to keep whisking this until obviously it thickens up to the consistency that you want. Let's speed it up a little bit. Right, so I'll continue with this and I'll come back when it is done to how I want it. Or I forget, 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence, which I forgot to put in. Vanilla extract, sorry. There we go, that's a teaspoon. That's going to go in there as well. There we go. Key ingredient in there. So that is that. Right, so I'll carry on whisking this up and I'll come back in a second. Okay, so that has whipped up to how I want it. So, next thing to go in is 2/3 of these strawberries, holding some back for the topping. So that's quite a few raspberries going in there, and I'll hold a few back there just for the topping. So I'm just going to fold these in and gently push some of them to the side to squeeze some of the juices out, so it actually incorporates into the cream itself. See how it's like, it gives it like a little rippled effect into the cream. There, that looks rather nice. There you see how it's like little flecks of red going through there off the raspberries. That's what you're looking for. Like a raspberry ripple, as they say. Right. Just a little gentle squeeze on some of them. A bit more, I think. So it's gone from like a pure white to with a pinkish tinge, shall we say. Right, that's that done. So I'm going to grab the biscuit base out of the fridge and top it with this There's my biscuit base. So it's in with the filling. So obviously you just want to get as much of it in as you can and then smooth it out on the top. I'm just trying to be as neatish as I can in putting it on and try and make it as even as I can. Bit of an indulgent treat, but I love a cheesecake, me, like, not had one for a long time. I can remember getting one in Spain. Do you remember that one we had in Spain, that white chocolate one? And we went back the next day and we were gutted because they weren't doing it that day and we were devastated.
Back with the off chance though, didn't
you? Yeah. Right, so I'm just going to continue getting this in and I'll smooth it off. So I've got that nicely smoothed out and I'm just topping it with the remaining raspberries that I have. You can be as creative as you want. I'm just slapping them on. Right, and I'm going to need some icing sugar just to top on top of that.
I'll move that little sieve. Do you want me to get for you?
If you don't mind. So will it? I'm just going to say the icing sugar, should that go on before you serve or before you?
Put it in the fridge first.
Just in the fridge as it is. Okay, well it's not the best. Looks like a little English flag there.
Next time you see that you're not good with fiddly things, I'm going to take a picture of that and show you.
Right, so I just need some icing sugar on the top of this. Just grab my little sieve. Actually, I'll just use the big one.
I know it's in one of those two.
It's fine. I'll just use the big one. So a little bit of icing sugar, just sieved over the top. If it's going to sieve for me. Lovely, just to make it even more calorific. There we go. That'll do. So that is now going into the fridge for a few hours, at least 5 or 6 hours, and then we'll come back and do a taste test. Right, so I've left it in the fridge overnight. This is the next day. So that is my raspberry no-bake cheesecake. Doesn't that look amazing? So you know what's coming next? Triple tea time. Delicious. Lovely. Right, here we go. Look at that beauty. Ooh. I love a cheesecake, me. So I'm dying to get, oh, that biscuit base. Wow. What time is it now? I'm eating this at 20 past 10 in the morning, I don't care. That is, look at that, look at it. Like the ripple effect in there, it's lovely. It's not over sweet, especially with a biscuit base. And that, say, the raspberries in it. The raspberry ripple. The cream thing itself, the cream filling itself isn't sweet now. They're not over sweet, just right. Well, that's dangerous, that, like. Oh. So anybody can make that. No bake cheesecake. Simple, tasty, just fantastic. A quick summer pud, brilliant. So like I said, I did this one because I somehow managed to delete all of my footage of the last video that I did that was supposed to be out tonight. But there you go. We live and learn. Frustrating, So this was the alternative, a quick one, because it needed to be quick. So if you like the look of it, please give it one of them. And thank you everybody for all your lovely comments, your recipe ideas, and everything that you do for us, basically. Absolutely fantastic. So I'll leave you guys there now, and I will catch you on the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.